Hey, summer's here, so we had a pool party that devolved into us fighting over our favorite summer movies until we came up with this here list that you will definitely yell at us for. Bring it on! Despite getting out of the office, somehow someone still managed to throw a chair. It's really not okay. Welcome to Gamma Ray, and these are our 7 favorite summer movies. Meaning, they're about summer, not that they came out in summer. So focus, and don't say Star Wars, please. First off, at number 7, we looked at classics of summer that hit a bunch of boxes. They were dramatic comedies, coming-of-age thrillers, action-adventure heist rom-coms, or just plain made up their own space. In the end, though, they defined our summers even now. Honestly, there were way too many to mention, but we talked about Larry and Richard's misadventures with a corpse and Weekend at Bernie's, George Lucas's funny, nostalgic, and bittersweet look at a group of recent high school grads' last day of innocence in American Graffiti, Catherine Bigelow's cult favorite surf heist Point Break, and even the beautiful and poignant Bruce Brown surfing documentary The Endless Summer from 1966, and that's still worth a watch. In the end, though, we had to go with the 1993 Dazed and Confused by Richard Linklater, my personal favorite. The film stars an excellent ensemble of actors, many of whom would become iconic to film and TV over the course of the next 20 years. The film is an affectionate, funny, and personal look at high school life in America and managed to capture the attention of audiences despite its loose structure and inability to fit a clear box because it captured the culture so well, and then transcended that to become part of it. Linklater manages to capture all of that over the course of just one day, the last day before summer vacation starts. And without the movie, we'd never have the famous line, "All right, all right, all right." At number 6, we wanted to acknowledge that summer happens almost everywhere in the world. Look at how some of these filmmakers have captured life during the season of heat in languages outside of English. Like 2002's Blissfully Yours out of Thailand, that follows a young Burmese migrant as he crosses into Thailand without papers. The film captures everything, explicit sex scenes included, with a languid, relaxed gaze full of long, lazy-like surrealism under the surface. There's a 2016 Sunton from Greece about a middle-aged male's obsession with a young woman and her friends that's full of sad sympathy, pathetic comedy, and a harrowing twist that propels you into the final act. Summer 1993 from Spain that recounts an unforgettable portion of writer-director Carla Simon's own life. The first summer spent after her mother died of AIDS, in an insanely personal film about life through the eyes of children. In the end, we decided on 1986 French film The Green Ray. We could easily fill this entire list with Eric Rohmer's films, Pauline at the Beach, Claire's Knee, and La Collectionneuse. Honestly, most of the work from this father of French New Wave is evidence of his total obsession with summer. But there's something special about The Green Ray, which captures the inevitable underside to the sunny expectations people usually enter the season with. Disappointment. The Green Ray stars Marie Riviere as a young woman named Delphine, and fun fact, she mostly improvised her lines throughout the entire film. The film follows her after a breakup as all summer vacation plans unceremoniously get scrapped by her travel buddy. Faced with the prospect of disappointing summer in deserted Paris, Delphine indecisively flits between various holiday invitations from friends, but personal insecurities about her singlehood mushroom against her gaggle of insufferably lovey-dovey coupled-up pals. I feel ya, Delphine. In its simplest form, it's a movie about one woman's quest to have a good summer vacation. But in the end, it turns out to be an achingly insightful film about the frantic chase for something meaningful in a season so often defined by its shallowness. Speaking of love, when yelling at each other about number 5, we realize so many movies that take place in the summer also capture the success and heartbreaks of finding and or losing love. Maybe it's the heat, or the ease at which getting away from home can lead to passing romances that later force us to reminisce on what could have been. But it's a thing. Think about the melancholy, powerfully affecting portrait of first love, performed by Timothée Chalamet and Armie Hammer in Call Me By Your Name. The first of Richard Linklater's superb romance trilogy about American tourist and a French student wandering Vienna and Before Sunrise. Whimsical and sometimes even slapstick misadventures of Sam and Susie in Wes Anderson's Moonrise Kingdom. 1955's iconic Marilyn Monroe vehicle, The 7-Year Itch, the touching and painful maturation of Anna Chlumsky's Vada in 1991's My Girl, or No one putting baby in that fucking corner in Dirty Dancing. But after all that, 2004's My Summer of Love won our hearts. The movie takes place during the kind of summer when the overbearing heat tricks you into believing time has stopped, and in that feeling sends us into an interclass romance between Natalie Press and Emily Blunt, two lonely women forced to spend a very long, hot summer in a small, rural Yorkshire. Blunt is home from boarding school and has been left to her own devices by her mostly absent parents, while Press is running away from her sanctimonious, born-again Christian ex-con brother. To each girl, the other is exotic, and while that sates the intense boredom and loneliness of the summer for a while, one half of the couple eventually begins to find her amusement elsewhere. There are many things that remind you of 1971's The Go-Between or the more recent God's Own Country, which are both worth checking out as well. Coming up at number 4, the heat has started to make things tense. Sticky, and tense. The long days of summer started to remind us of going stir-crazy, so we started to talk about thrillers. And from here on out, the options just get even more insane. We almost picked Dog Day Afternoon. Again, shameless plug for our heist list, which you should have watched. Hitchcock's Rear Window, swimming pool's chilling atmosphere and erotic tension, the inner torments of A Streetcar Named Desire, and Malcolm and Sophia's bold plot for revenge from Adam Leon's debut feature, Gimme the Loot. In the end, though, we had to go with Spike Lee's 1989 joint, Do the Right Thing. The movie is smart, vibrant, urgent, and dealt with racial tension head-on without being didactic, in ways that are still important and sadly relatable today. At number 3, too many chairs got broken because we tried to talk about comedy. Look, there's a lot. Watch them all, from National Lampoon's Original Vacation, to Caddyshack, Meatballs, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, The Great Outdoors, What About Bob, and even the Goofy movie, especially the Goofy movie. But we're going to talk about Wet Hot American Summer. The cult classic focuses on the last day at Camp Firewood, where the counselors and campers alike are desperate to go wild before going home. The movie mashes up the best bits from past summer movies and throws in a bunch of major comedy names to create what became a cult classic and spawned some of the strangest and most ridiculous content on Netflix. On release, it received excessively negative reviews. It was predominantly called a failure at satire and a joke itself. Roger Ebert gave it 1 out of 4 stars, but those of us that have opened themselves up to its silliness, the film is a glorious romp of absurdity and has made most of us laugh harder than any other summer movie. It holds a high place in our hearts forever. So by now I'd assume that y'all are probably angry, which is why for number 2, we're gonna talk about scares. Hold on to your dookie, it's about to get spooky. Summer camps and being out of school have often led to comedy and love, but they've also led to death. From I Know What You Did Last Summer to Friday the 13th to Summer of Sam, summer has served as the backdrop for so much blood. But to this day, nothing has ruined family vacations as much as 1975 Steven Spielberg film Jaws. Often considered one of the greatest movies of all time, it was not only hailed as the brilliant and cheerfully perverse scary thriller that it is by both critics and audience alike, but on top of that, it effectively created the summer blockbuster that redefined the way movies are made and released to this day. It was the highest-grossing film of all time until Star Wars, and if you haven't seen it or are surprised by this choice, look, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Actually, I'm really mad. I'm super mad. What's left for number 1, you say? Well, chill out, I'll tell ya. The most quintessential of summer themes, coming of age. From Cape Cod water park antics of the way, way back, oh, I love the way, way back, holy shit, to going to live your best life in a friend's treehouse in the Kings of Summer, the terrifying prospects of life beyond college in Adventureland, the childlike dreams of family in The Parent Trap, the whimsical yet terrifying grounded little adventures of Little Joey and the Little Fugitive, the beauty and fear of reinventing yourself and the feeling like you'll be discovered in Celine Sciamma's Tomboy, starting your life as another ends in Y Tu Mama Tambien, or moving to a new neighborhood in The Sandlot. Do you think that dog was really that big? And the Goonies, oh, the fucking Goonies, fuck. There are so many amazing movies where we see young men and women find themselves conveniently right in the middle of summer. After all was said and chairs were broken, Stand By Me stood strong. This 80s rite of passage classic follows 4 pals as they hike to see a dead body. Very Logan Paul of them. It yanks at the heartstrings, reminding you of the carefree days of childhood when being an adult seemed a lifetime away, and all that mattered was adventuring with your best friends. Adapted from the 1982 novella The Body, the movie captures Stephen King's voice with a weird streak of non-saccharine sincerity that perfectly captures the trials of growing up. and still holds the top spot for us as a great summer movie. If you haven't noticed, we don't actually rank these movies in any particular order, but still, let us know in the comments if you agree with this list or how you would change it. Have you seen all of them? Tell us everything. Like, subscribe, comment, share, do all the things, and we'll see you next time.